And they found you amusing for a while, the people of this city. But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die trying. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
this thing started here today. So the first thing we're going to take a look at here is going to be, let's take a look at Dixie. Let's first look at like what happened on Forex Factory here. Okay, let's take a look at this here. Let's take a look at CPI numbers here. So 2.4, this is actually very positive news. Very neutral. Okay, it means that we're not that much closer to what? A rate cut. Very neutral news. CPI month over month, neutral. Very neutral news here. I was expecting it to be worse than expected so we can get a rate cut, but it didn't happen. Unemployment claims tomorrow are looking to become a little bit worse than expected, but other than that, we have some neutral news other than core PCE. So really no big effects. Dixie today though did do a gap jump to the upside, and we're continuing on this upwards trend where the dollar is gaining value. I talked about this. This is not a good thing. This is actually a very bad thing. My biggest theory here is that the Strait of Hormuz is still blocked. That's the only reason probably why. And oil is now on its ascension to its uptrend here like we talked about, which means oil is a buy. We're going to be looking for buys on oil. And it's causing the market to crash right now because of the Strait of Hormuz, right? This is what's happening. May have gotten people killed.
Not.
This is not good. Not Trump's fault, but I knew that they wouldn't listen. Good. Bad. This is not good. This is really, really fucking bad. We could take Iran this afternoon.
They have no anti-aircraft apparatus at all. They have no radar. Their leaders are
A U.S.
gone.
oil tanker. Fuck. All right, guys, we're gonna buy oil on the pullback as soon as possible here. Oil's gonna go back to all-time highs. It'll probably go to 130. We're gonna go buy oil as soon as possible here. We're looking for buys on oil. This is not good.
Power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
God. Okay, this is probably why prices are fucking doing this right now. Dixie's on the run. Hopefully it pulls back anytime soon here. But with Dixie coming back, I think by tomorrow it'll come back to this zone. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna see lift off, like how I predicted it. Everything I just said came true, which is fucking crazy. I think we're going to come to 99 and 100. We're going to see the S&P drop tremendously. We called the buy. We made a profit yesterday, which was great. I mean, this was on Tuesday. We called the buy Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. It hit the TP exactly. So this was an amazing trade, right? We hit exactly for however many pips that we needed to go for. All TPs hit, which is a great trade. This was Tuesday. Now we're Wednesday. It's crazy how markets already come back, right? But right now, I'm going to be looking for sells. I think prices are going to extend to the downside here. I think that we're headed lower. I don't even think I put an alert today here. I don't think even people know that I'm live right now. Hold on, let me make sure everybody's on this call.
Is your Fox News report. The International Energy Agency has agreed to release a record 400 million barrels of oil from emergency reserves as supply concerns continue. Meantime, Iran says its military hit a Thai naval ship in the Strait of Hormuz. That crew had to be rescued. President Trump now considering whether to send the U.S. Navy to escort ships through the strait safely and keep the oil flowing.
Prices are already coming back down, and it's going to come down, but we're not leaving until that job is finished, and it's going to be very fast.
At least 2 people are dead and many others injured after powerful storms hit the Midwest. And
Okay,
the
so
plains.
guys, this is. I don't believe the media. I don't believe the media anymore, and I said this yesterday that technicals are not matching what the media is saying, and I'm done believing the fucking media. I believe Dixie's going to go to these highs here, and I think we're going to break. I think that, yes, we'll have a pullback here, but my long-term thesis is Dixie's going to go to 172. SPX, I believe, is going to go back to equal lows, and even maybe even lower. We might go to even lower. So tomorrow I'm going to be looking for sells. I am going to be looking for a pullback. But tomorrow I want to look for a solid sell on markets tomorrow. And I do believe that we are going to get a huge short position here. I think when markets open, they're going to price in what just happened. I think we're going to get a gap tomorrow. I think markets are probably going to pull up and then sell off. Right now, you're probably going to see... Bitcoin's up a bit, but it's going to sell off here soon. Okay, so with SPX going down, my thought process here is SPX. I believe we're going to go lower. Yeah, Russell looks bearish. US 30 is bearish. Everything is very bearish here. This is going down here. This is going low. Probably back to, yeah, daily structure here. This is where I see it going. Internal, external buying zone. Gold volatility dropping. I'm curious on why. Liquidity is probably tightening right now. People are rushing to dollars instead of gold. Shockingly enough here. But this is good. Buy is coming soon. Gaps being dropped on liquidity here. Good buying zone here with gold liquidity. Could be here. That means gold's going to drop a little bit more. We're going to see a swipe of liquidity, and then we have all these areas that it needs to fill. And here. Whoa. Bond markets. 10-year yields. Yields are skyrocketing right now. US bonds are going down. We're probably rushing to Dixie. All right, let's take a look at gold, guys. Okay, so let's take a look at gold. So we were at buys yesterday, which went really good for us. Right, yesterday's buys, we were in profit. I called a buy right here, and then we had our stop profit hit, right? So last night, I mean, during the early morning, we called it live 10 a.m. pullback. First take profit hit, pulled back, and then break even. Our break even order got hit, and then the market pulled down. What am I looking at with gold? Still looking at this thing to run to the upside. Now, this whole thing with the Strait of Hormuz is still kind of bearish on price, but I'm bullish on overall price, regardless of what's happening here. I believe that this right here is the impulse move, right? We can go back. We can clearly see this is the impulse move on the floor, right? We can clearly see it. This right here is the order block. But we could see both areas of where price needs to mitigate, both internal, external structure. Internal buy. This area right here is mitigating that internal buy. Now, I do believe if we do close below this price, if we close below here, we are technically still bearish. Haven't. Technically, we've mitigated this zone on the 15-minute. This right here is going to sell off, though. It's going to probably continue on its selling pressure zone. To be honest, we're probably going to sell gold tomorrow. We're going to sell gold tomorrow. And today was such an easy sell. Today was such an easy sell. You had the pullback here, break of the indecision, 10 a.m., and then pull back. So gold is for sure a sell until further notice, until we come back down to this zone here. And then I probably would want to buy here. Okay. Sell tomorrow. Most likely, this actually looks like a decent buy zone. I only want to sell for, and this is what I want to let you guys understand. I want to buy gold, 100%. It's just, most likely, I think price is going to go into order flow, right? You're seeing this order flow come into play. Now, let's say if it does break structure here, then we'll just buy it off this edge. But right now, I believe this is what price is going to do, to be honest. This is what price is going to do. swipe liquidity for any accumulation here during Asian session, then mitigate and then run to the upside. So I'm still bullish on gold. I just don't want to buy now with all this downward momentum. And with price on the VWAP still being bearish. You know? USD CAD's bullish. Very much bullish. I've been waiting for a break on this on USD CAD here for a while. And we got it. Did we get it? Did we get a close above structure? Yep, we did. USD CAD is 100% a buy. See that break today? This is good. We're going to want to put a swing position on USD CAD here soon. I think we're going to pull back and then pull to the upside. Bitcoin's a sell. GU, I called buys last week. We ran up on Tuesday, which did great, and then we sold off. So first TP hit, second TP hit. Great trade. But then markets reverse because of you know what. We're breaking structure. If we do break, which it looks like we are, we're going to come back down here. And then probably have a rally after this. Right? In that 4-hour area. Let's go back to crypto here. Interesting that crypto... We did break structure, so technically... this would move to the upside. Sometimes crypto doesn't respect market structure. So that might be the thing happening here. Might sell off now. Bitcoin's getting ready. If tomorrow SPX starts to sell, this thing's 100% going to sell. Nvidia's still holding, Amazon's still holding, everything else still holding pretty strong. All right, guys, we will trade New York session tomorrow and see how it goes. But this news here is just getting crazy. We'll see how it is.
We've won. Let me tell you, we've won. You know, you never like to say too early you won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over. But we won.
Well, Fox News just put breaking that we're gonna open up our oil reserves. How fucking bad does that sound, guys? That's not good. That means buy oil. Just in the last 30 minutes alone, like... I want to wait for a pullback that might not ever come.
Of the strait sits the Musandam Peninsula, a narrow strip of land owned by Oman. If you cut a canal straight through it, ships could bypass the strait completely. Simple, right? Not quite. The Musandam Peninsula is basically a giant mountain range sitting in the ocean. The Hajar Mountains run straight through it. Some peaks reach over 6,500 feet high. You'd need to cut through solid rock for over 60 miles. Engineers studied this. The estimated cost, over $200 billion. And that's before the politics. Oman, the UAE, and every Gulf state with oil money on the line would all need to agree. They never do. What about cutting straight from Abu Dhabi to Sahar in Oman? That's actually the most logical route on paper. A straight line across the UAE, straight to the Gulf of Oman. 150 miles. Ships bypass the strait completely. But here's the problem. The Hajar Mountains sit directly in the way. You'd be cutting through peaks reaching over 2,300 feet above sea level across 150 miles of rock and desert. The cost would make the Panama Canal look cheap, and you'd still need Oman to agree. The same Oman that has been quietly mediating between Iran and the US this entire war.
All right, guys, I'm off the stream. We'll trade tomorrow, but look for pullbacks tonight on oil.
Let's go to Matt in Indiana. Matt in Indiana, senior military strategist, security strategy for Iran. Please give us your
access.
Of the FBI investigation.
Yeah, I'm not reading.
Limit. Alex Jones's body.
Whatever. I mean, I do think most of the country.
If we get cut off, look up the secret speech of Chinese General Cho Haitian, right? That is the blueprint of what they're actually doing right now, right? Everything relates to that. And if
yeah, you're talking about some of those unconventional warfare papers from the 90s.
No, I'm talking.
You're talking about, I can hear the technical terms, which I barely understand studying it. Dumb it down for us first. Am I right that this is a disaster? Am I wrong? In general, give it to us like we're 5 years old and then get into the technicals.
Yeah, so Alex, let me say, broadly speaking, as we look at this, I mean, we don't know that it's a disaster, right, as we look at it. It depends on, cost-benefit analysis, right? So, but the administration is leading us to believe that this is a total disaster because they're not communicating to us their political aims or the end state of this, of this military action in Iran, and that's the problem. So we're left to derive our own assessment of this, which is a absolute disaster. Then, as we look outside of the administration and we look at some actual,
its existence is at stake, and that there is no statements. They are saying that the time of retaliations is over, and now it's full-out war, because this is a time, this is a stage at which the country has realized that its existence is at stake, and that there is no time anymore or occasion for talking about tit-for-tat operations. This is a time when Iran has to use every means it has to defend itself. So, I mean, the most outstanding thing there also in their statements today is that the Strait of Hormuz is now a no-go area, and that no liter of oil will pass there without the permission of
this
Iran.
is fucked.
Talking about those
This
3
is
ships
fucked,
that have
guys.
been hit, the IRGC said that they belong
This is
to.
fucked.
They are under different flags, but they work for the United States and Israel.
This is
Statements that are
fucked.
saying that the time of retaliations is over, and now it's full-out war. Because this is a stage at which the country has realized that its existence is at stake, and that there is no.
For oil to hit $200 a barrel as its forces attacked merchant ships on Wednesday in the blockaded Gulf. That included a Thai-flagged bulk carrier that was set ablaze, forcing the evacuation of the crew, with 3 people
looking for buys on
missing and
oil.
believed trapped in
First
the engine
buy,
room.
I'm going to start
Iran
scaling
also fired
in.
at Israel and targets across the Middle East on Wednesday, demonstrating it can still
My first
fight
buy
back,
on
despite
oil,
what
and I'm
the
going to send this
Pentagon
out
has
as a
described
signal.
the most intense U.S.-Israeli strikes yet. Ibrahim Zolfagari is a spokesperson for Iran's military command, who addressed the United States in his remarks.
You will not be able to keep oil and energy prices artificially low through economic life support. As we have already warned, if the war spreads across the region, expect oil to reach $200 per barrel. Oil prices follow the level of security in the region, and the source of that insecurity is you.
Oil prices that shot up earlier this week have eased, and stock markets have rebounded, with investors betting for now that U.S. President Donald Trump will find a quick way to end the war he began alongside Israel. Trump, who has repeatedly tried to reassure markets this week that the campaign will end soon, has said there is practically nothing left to target in Iran.
They've lost their Navy, they've lost their Air Force.
But so far, there has been no let-up on the ground, or any sign that ships can safely sail through the Strait of Hormuz. On Wednesday, Trump said oil companies should still be using the crucial waterway.
Are you talking to the CEOs of various oil companies, encouraging them to use the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should. I think they should use the Strait.
1/5 of the world's oil has been blockaded behind a narrow channel along the Iranian coast, in the worst disruption to energy supplies since the oil shocks of the 1970s. The International Energy Agency, made up of major oil-consuming nations, recommended releasing 400 million barrels from global strategic reserves to stabilize prices. Washington swiftly endorsed the move. IEA Executive Director Fatih Birol said it was the biggest...
This is going to be a 1 in 8 trade I'm going to send out. It's crazy that I marked this up the other day. This markup is fucking crazy. Look at how insane this markup is, guys, that I gave out here. This is so wild. I gotta record this because this is just insane. This is actually like wild. So on the live session yesterday, let me record this here. So on our live session on Tuesday, I called buys on oil right here at that particular zone. This was at So I said on Tuesday that if we close above this structural point, which was 78.61, oil would start to skyrocket. And since that buy zone on Tuesday, oil currently is up about 16%. Right now, Strait of Hormuz has been completely blocked.
Iran said the world should get
6
ready
minutes
for...
ago. I'm looking at oil to go to at least $100 a barrel, then escalate to 106, then come back, okay, to 115. So I'm giving this out in my free community here. We're looking for some pullbacks. But yeah, I'm calling out basically like a 1 in 10 on this here. This is going to be the easiest money that you could ever fucking make, because I think Trump doesn't have this under control at all. All right, guys, appreciate y'all. Love y'all.